Hello troglodytes, and welcome back to another video. So, in today's episode, we're going to be installing Alpine Linux onto this Raspberry Pi 5. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, it has a 64 gigabyte micro SD card that is currently in my computer, and yeah, we're going to see what can we do with it. Can we install a desktop environment? You know, how far can we push this? Because Alpine Linux is typically really just meant to be, from what I can tell, like a server operating system. So how far can we push it as a desktop operating system on this little ARM powered single board computer? So on to the video. Alrighty then, so I tried to record this yesterday, but I did it on one of my laptops, and that didn't work so well. So, I saw, oh, look, they have the Raspberry Pi version, and we're going to install it not this way, but through the Raspberry Pi imager. And from here, I can choose my device, so we're going to say it's going to be the Raspberry Pi 5. And we're going to go with, instead of doing like the typical, what you would do in here, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, actually. But, no, instead, we're going to go with other general purpose operating system. Alpine Linux. Alpine Linux Small OS for RPI 3, 4, and 5. So, because the other interesting thing about Alpine Linux is that it is entirely, it does not use systemd at all. It uses OpenRC and some other stuff. So it is a systemd free distro, which is interesting. So that has been flashed, and we may continue. No disks available. Try boot media. Sure. I don't know what this is gonna do. Oh, right, because we're trying to install it to something. Interesting. I don't know what this is gonna do. Is it gonna try to like overwrite it to an SD card? Because that should be possible if it can just load everything into RAM, which it totally can. So I don't know what that's gonna do. Warning: you are stopping in sysinit service, unmounting mod loop. Okay. We're gonna do that. All right. So the system disk is like the traditional setup. It creates like your root and your home and your whatever partitions, and it sets it up as like a normal computer. I know these other things do something else, but we're not going to worry about those. So we're going to set it up as a system disk. Warning, yes. We've done all that. Now, right, okay, so now what we have to do is go into everyone's favorite text editor, V. And we have to enable the community repositories. Let's see if this is a thing. So we have to go into insert mode. I remember this. Okay, press escape, go back into this mode, :WQ. Okay. So even though I didn't actually, so even though I did create my user account, we don't have, from what I remember from when I tried to do this yesterday, we don't have sudo installed, and we also don't have like bash or any of that installed. So now that we've enabled the community repositories, we can install our bash shell and sudo. And then we'll add our user to the group so that we can actually do things. So we're gonna add our user to the wheel group so we can execute commands with the root privileges and set my default shell to bash. So we're currently in the root account, but go do that. So apk add. Okay. Oh. Okay. So now Okay. So in theory, we have done all that. Now we're going to reboot it one more time. So if I say sudo apk add fast fetch. Yay! Yay! We have Alpine Linux, 78 packages. It's using 158 megabytes of RAM. It's using no disk space at all. And there it is. So that's pretty cool. All right. All right, so here's where the fun part begins. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the setup desktop script. So the tutorial I was trying to follow yesterday just had me try to set up like XFCE manually, and that kind of worked, but this time we're gonna run a fancy script, and I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if these have ARM binaries compiled, but we're gonna find out. So, which desktop environment do we want? I want a full fat Gnome. I know I like XFCE. LXQT. LXQT is fine, but should I just go with XFCE just for the memes, or should I go with Gnome? I kind of want to go with Gnome. Full fat Gnome on a Raspberry Pi on Alpine Linux. We're going with Gnome. Okay. Let's see if this will work. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's installing 142 more packages. Oh boy. It's doing it. I don't know. Just that's what it said. It's just the script that will do everything. Now it's installing 542 more packages. Okay. Okay, so it says once you have chosen a desktop environment, which I did, this script, the script we just ran, installs the chosen desktop, GNOME, along with the necessary packages. Firefox browser, and adds necessary services to run and startup. You can reboot when complete, and the system will boot into a graphical login screen with the chosen desktop environment, except for Sway, because that's a window manager, and those you need to set up differently. Maybe one of these days I'll look into that, but for right now, we're happy. Oh boy. So yeah. See. So now we have 700. It's recorded in here somewhere. Before we had like 70 something, and we have 700 packages. So I guess we'll reboot and see what happened, I guess. And see if we reboot into the GDM or not. Okay. Whoops. So will this just have worked or not? Or did I have to do something else first? Okay. What? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Something else is happening. Doing that thing again where it's like it tried to boot into the TTY and now it's something else. Doing the Raspberry Pi thing where it boots weird. I don't know what's happening. It's just on a single little dash on the screen. I tried to log in. Did that mess it up? I don't know. The fan isn't spinning, but it is on. It's getting warm. There's no sign of activity. Is it trying to boot GNOME? I don't know. I guess it doesn't take that long to set this back up again if I need to, so I guess I can try that, but... Okay, so we're back to just before when we tried to install the desktop environment before. We have our 75 packages, And back on the tutorial I was following yesterday, and it says we need to set up the Xorg base. I don't know if we're gonna need that, but let's just do that. So that's what we're gonna do. So set up Xorg base, and we're just going to set all of that up. So it says prerequisites: internet connectivity. We have that. Install the appropriate graphics drivers for your hardware. So I think I've done that. I don't think I have to worry about that. We have a non-root account. Community repositories are enabled. Is that Firefox? Okay, and now it says to reboot. So let's see what'll happen. Let's just wait this time. So this time we're gonna have to be a little bit more patient, and we're just gonna see. So in theory, it should boot into the GDM. We did install all the X11 stuff, so we have Xorg. We didn't have Xorg last time, although maybe the installer. I don't know what the installer is supposed to do. So okay, I'm just gonna wait. So this is what it did last time. I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna see if that goes away or not. Yep, okay. Okay, no, it's blinking this time. It's a good sign. This is a good sign. Okay, so a lot has happened since we probably last resumed. I recorded so much footage when I forgot to turn my microphone back on after I came back from lunch. So that's great. But we got it working. So, as you can see, we made it into the Gnome thing. How, you may ask? Okay, so basically what I had to do to get this to work, so I was thinking, oh, well, there's got to be a way, right? So I was looking through their various Alpine Linux, like their repo thing, like Alpine Linux packages. I was like, okay, you know, like here are all the Gnome packages, you know, here they have the right architecture. I made sure that, okay, we have all the Mesa stuff is installed. Like all the, you know, Mesa packages are installed. Yes, they all were. All of the Xorg stuff was installed. Well, whatever. All of the Xorg stuff was installed and all that was working. Everything was set up properly. I was like, okay, well, it just cannot boot into GNOME. It just will not do it. And I was scrolling down here. It said post installation, customize config.txt and user cfg.txt. I was like, oh, right, yeah, that we have to do that. So, what I figured out was, okay, my audio is working this time. I had to create that, and I went in here and I enabled all the stuff it requires. So I was like, okay, they say to enable UART. Okay, sometimes it will do that. It'll just blank out for a second. I don't know why. But it says to enable UART, to enable the UART console, enable DT param audio on to turn on sound. And then this is the thing. So by default, if you don't set these overlays, so if I don't set these parameters right here, hello, wrong mouse again. If I don't set these parameters right here, it will basically boot into a legacy video driver. So by default, system configuration will use legacy video driver. While it may remain well suited for lower RAM devices, i.e. the original Pi, this driver has limitations and is now lacking support. The Linux DRM, so Direct Rendering Manager, kernel level driver is recommended for most devices and is enabled by adding this to user cfg.txt. Now, Raspberry Pis don't have a proper UEFI BIOS. And I keep forgetting about this so I had to create this file, you put all the stuff in there, and then it booted. I was like, wow, yay, it's booting into Gnome. This is crazy. Oh, I see blinking lights on the Raspberry Pi itself. The hard drive activity light is the blinking. Oh, let's go. Yeah. That's all I needed to do was enable the actual gosh darn graphic driver. Let's go. We have Gnome. Oh my god. Okay. So we got it to boot. That was pretty good. So I mean, look, it's Alpine Linux on a Raspberry Pi running Gnome. It's only using about 800 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty good. And it's really snappy because it's like Alpine. It has like 0 packages installed. And the first thing I wanted to do was check out Super Tux Kart. Because like it's Super Tux Kart and that's like pretty cool. And I had it set to low graphics. Those ran pretty well. But maybe I can turn things up a little bit. Let's see. Can I at least turn on the advanced lighting pipeline? Let's apply that. Okay. How fast will it run? Again, we're not recording audio. And this is like the heaviest track in the game, I think. Let's do, 19 other cards. Why not? Those are the settings I was doing before. Ooh. Yeah, so the GPU in this thing is just not... It's not very fast. Yeah, so without the advanced lighting pipeline, it was getting about... like 90 frames per second, but it looked terrible. So yeah, I mean, this is just the power of the Raspberry Pi. Like there's not a lot that's gonna save you here. So I guess there's that. Whee! Yeah, everybody's so slow, I'm so fast. This is actually not a flat pack. This is actually a native application, believe it or not. This is a native APK running on Alpine Linux on the system, on the thing, so that's pretty cool. We got him. So here's this. It's working pretty well. Whee! Yeah. There's that. The next thing I tried out was Sauerbraten. So this is a flat pack. It seems to work pretty good. So let's do a bot match. I do have this running at the lowest settings because, well, whoops, right. I mean, we are able to get 70-ish frames at 720p. You have to run it in a window. Full screen mode will just, it will not work. It'll just run it at 1080p the whole time. So there is that. Stress the CPU. What if I just add a whack ton of bots? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the match with all the bots. It's just gonna be Instagab on Caribbean. That's what we're gonna do. Woo. Wow, this game looks terrible with the low settings, but hey, it runs decently. You think if I actually have this, you think what happens if I try to turn the graphics back up again? I don't know. Who cares about frame rates anyway? And all that kind of stuff. We're turning it all the way up, boys. This might be a bad idea. If we're getting 20, 30 frames, you know what? Scrooge it. It looks so much better this way. Whee! 40 frames. Okay, well, that's not unplayable. We are like completely completely reefing on it here, so that is pretty good. But it is running decently well. This is again on a Raspberry Pi running Alpine Linux. Should we see the experience of actually... oh yeah, we also have Mission Center. That's one thing I really wanted to install, was Mission Center, to see what would it show. And it shows Cortex A76 running at full speed. Base speed unknown, virtualization, KVM, blah, 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 blah. It shows the RAM. We have 8 gigs of RAM. And then the fan running at some speed. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's all that's going to show you. I mean, it's Gnome. It runs pretty good. I'm not going to lie. We got Flatpak working, which was good. Because originally this had like basically nothing in it. I guess I can show that. But yeah, there was not a whole lot in here before. Which was not great, I guess. But I guess that's okay. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of like desktop software designed for Alpine Linux because again, it's not a desktop operating system. But we can do some classic extreme tux racer. Maybe this will work. Everybody likes Extreme Tux Racer. Ooh, this installs fast because it's ancient. All right. Well, let's do a little bit of Extreme Tux Racing, and then we'll close out the video. How about that? That's what we're gonna do. Will this open? Yes, it will. Okay. My name is Bunny. I'm going to be playing as Beastie. Enter. Let's go. Whee! I would expect this to run smoothly, but I actually have to press the go button. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Flatpak, is it is supposedly, you know, the universal packaging format. But developers still have to have an ARM build in there somewhere, so maybe it's too complicated. I don't know, but hey, I mean, without Flatpaks, like most of the stuff I'd be trying to run today wouldn't run, so there is that. We do have to keep that in mind. And look at this, we're Extreme Tux Racing. I've played this quite a bit on this channel, actually. I do like this game. It's very simple, older graphics, runs good. Unlike the other stuff, because the GPU on this thing is not the fastest graphics card on the planet. I will tell you that much. Maybe one of these days. Oh my god, Alpine Linux with a external AMD GPU. Oh boy, trying to get that set up and working. Woo! That'll be fun. Maybe I'll actually try this time. Whee! Okay, come on, lock in. Can I beat this level? With no sound. It's a lot better with sound, let me tell you what. Man, I hit that tree so many times in my previous attempts. Okay. No. Come on, can I at least hit? Okay, we're doing better than last time. This one's not. It's the next level that gets really hard. I remember that all the time. Okay, come on. Yes. Okay, we've made it. We just have to do it within... Now we're fine. Okay, we made it. Yay! Yay! Okay, well, there's that. So yeah, for real this time, Alpine Linux is a great distro. You can totally make it work as a desktop operating system if you're willing to accept all the weird little quirks. You know, the fact that and as you saw before, you have to manually configure everything. There is a lot of setup scripts you can run, but you have to run them, and you kind of have to know, oh, well, I need sudo, or I can do bash, and it's really not meant to be, I don't think it's really meant to be a general purpose desktop operating system. There are tons of distros that are set up for that. Like in a Linux Mint from my last video that nobody watched because I don't know why. I guess I suck. That's okay. I was going through some things back then, okay? Don't worry about it. It's really meant to be for servers. That's what I was getting from their whole... what mouse do I use? There's too many of them. From their thing here, it's like, oh, download standard. You know, most common packages suitable for like routers and servers. If you want to do a netboot thing, you can do that. You can run this on the Raspberry Pi, you know, for use in containers and for virtual systems and, you know, all this other stuff. It's not really meant to be a desktop operating system. But you can use it as one, and it works pretty well. On the Raspberry Pi, you have to remember to edit user CFG to enable the fundamental Linux direct rendering manager thing. You know, it works pretty good. One more time. There it is. I'm tired. I want to go to my workout class. That's about it. For real this time. Bye!